Hi, my name is John from Ford, Wisconsin, Dodge County, and we're going to demonstrate today how to make a Serbian knife out of an old buzzsaw blade. Okay, once again, my name is John. We're here in Ford, Wisconsin, Dodge County, Wisconsin, working on our Dodge County Fair project, which is going to be Serbian knife set. And it's in the metal craft division of the Dodge County Fair in the Cultural Arts Building. Earlier, I had the opportunity to cut out a blank of a Serbian knife, and this is what it kind of looks like. It acts as part spatula, and it acts as cutting tool for cutting through a large roast, maybe breaking, maybe cutting through chickens. But what we're going to do is we're going to make one this size, and we're going to make one a smaller size. And the purpose of this is a kitchen knife. This is a regular, everyday using utensil, and we're going to use it as a kitchen knife. So I had the opportunity to cut one, and I found out that the saw blades, the buzz saw blades, that I'm cutting them out of are really hard, meaning hard metal. I'm going to estimate the Rockwell, which is the measurement of the metal, to be approximately Rockwell 50. So there's not going to be a quiz on that, but that means that when I try to file this particular metal, it's really hard already, and the file doesn't have much effect on it. So it also gave me the opportunity, cutting one in advance, to find out that I didn't like my layout. So what I'm going to do real quick is I'm just going to change the layout of the knife just a little bit before we start cutting, and then we are going to go to plasma cutting. And once again, plasma, the best way to explain plasma cutting is a welding arc with forced air behind it. So what it does is it creates an arc, and then it blows the metal slag through, much like a cutting torch and acetylene torch, except it's completely electric. Okay, that said, here's my plasma torch right here. We'll turn on the machine like that, and we're going to start cutting. There's one. Okay, there goes the second one. So the third one is a knife that's going to turn into a skinning knife. It has a very swooped blade, so you can follow with the ergonomics of it while you're taking the hide off an animal. I don't have one, I need one, I'm making one right now. Once again, we'll start with a hole. All right, now we got that part of it done. Now we're going to go and release the hold fast. And just to show you how accurate that plasma cutter cuts, I'm going to put this right against here once, and you can see that thing, it's quite a cutter. Put that on the side. Now what we're going to do, we're going to take the scale off of the knife. Scale is a bump. It's right here. And it's the slag that's left over from cutting. It removes really easily. Use your hold fast, lock her down, and then take your favorite tap hammer. Get that out of the way once. And we just knock that off. Real simple like that. You can just see that stuff fly. This is probably the fastest way to do this. I've tried it with a grinder, and it works with the grinder, but it doesn't go any faster. So if you're considering getting into plasma cutting, this plasma cutter was simply purchased right on Amazon. I bought it on Amazon. It was about $300. It has a capacity to cut approximately ½ an inch of steel. I'm really, really, really happy with it. I have had other brands, and this one really outperforms the other brands I had. And witnessed by what you just saw, it really works well. So on this rough grind, what I'm essentially doing is making that edge flat and taking away the little lines that the plasma cutter makes. I don't want to do finished grinding until I'm ready for that. That's not going to be right away this time. What we're going to get done is all these are going to be flat ground and buffed up a little bit, and then we need to move to the stage where we think about hardening these again, or heating it up to a red hot and quenching them in oil. Hundred-year-old dust flying around, maybe more than 100 years old, depending on how old that buzzsaw blade is. Pretty old though, I'd reckon. Okay, you can see how quickly this begins to take a really nice shape. So we've got one more to rough out, and then we're going to go to what's called a flap disc. And a flap disc is a grinding disc, and it's several pieces of emery cloth that are attached or epoxied together. Very, very efficient, works really good. So we'll set that one on the side, and we'll go to this one, and we'll do the whole thing once more, and we're gaining ground fast. All right, now we're going to go back to the anvil, and we're going to change to the flap disc I mentioned earlier. And this, incidentally, is a 36 grit flap disc. So if you're following along and you're wanting to do as I do, 36 grit, of course, is the size of the grit that's epoxied to the disc. We've got the set, the larger and the smaller. I'm going to go ahead and use the flap disc on this one, but I'm going to change disc because the grit is getting worn down some. It's only a second to do that. So we'll take that down. This is not at all worn out. I just like to have a little more aggressive grit when I'm taking off and taking off that layer and getting down to the pits, the old steel. And we'll see rust pits and things like that. And I try to get them down. Some of those are going to stay. Some are going to stay just like that. And they're going to add character to the handmade blade. Others are going to be removed and polished out. That's looking really nice. It's going to get better and better and better. So far, It's looking really nice. It's got a nice feel. I like the feel of it. I can just see myself cutting through a large roast, one slice all the way through, none of this sawing. I can also see myself using the back maybe to break a garlic or just go, and I can just picture in my mind cutting through those onions like that. All right, let's keep right at her. The fair's coming. We got to be ready. Okay, so we're talking about the finish edges, meaning the finish where the handles are going to go. And so they need to be close right now, but they don't need to be dead perfect. I like to get them close, so when I trace this handle onto the black walnut or perhaps hickory, whichever I'm going to use, I'm leaning towards the hickory, it's pretty nice. Then we've got a much more accurate part, and we're going to have a nice thick spine, a nice, well-rounded, long-term, lifetime knife handle. And that's what we want. We don't want to be having things break, and let's face it, it's a handmade knife. It's going to last a long time. This didn't come from Walmart. All right, and that's about it for that, for what we wanted to get done today. So I'm going to lay them out, and we'll take a look with the camera. We'll lay out all of them, even the one that was my practice one. Put a magnet on the back so it'll stand up. I'll grab another magnet and we'll stand up another one, and it gives a good way to look at it. These handheld magnets, by the way, as long as you're talking about them, really nice if you're using a belt sander type of appliance to do your knife edge. Really nice. I like them, and they're inexpensive. So there we go. So this is what we've got done today. The next time we get together, we're going to be putting handles on these, doing epoxy, and we're going to, no, I'm sorry, I got to back up. Next time we get together, we're going to have the edge somewhat cut. We're going to heat them and quench them. The last thing that gets done is the handles. So for right now, that's a day's work.